Alrighty, to start off this video, do that. Going on, dudes and dudettes. Okay, start this video off real quick. We have Derwin James. He had successful surgery on that freaking leg or foot, whatever, finally. So he's gonna be headed to the injured reserve list, I believe, when week 1 starts. So then that way he can come back within 8 weeks and see how healthy he is. So hopefully that all works out towards the end of the season, but we'll just have to wait. Then also some USC football recruiting news. So they got a 4-star offensive tackle in Jonah Monheim, or Monheim. Hopefully I'm saying your last name right, buddy. But he is from California. He was highly regarded. He was getting looks at from Oklahoma and Alabama. So obviously he's a pretty talented player. So luckily USC got him, and an playmate or teammate of his is actually already on the team, and wide receiver Drake London. So maybe that helped as well. Just glad he's on the team. Then also USC football news. So since Jack Sears, I mentioned, like, it's kind of weird how he was playing at times last year, but then got pushed all the way down to the freaking 4th position of the quarterbacks at USC. And we're kind of wondering why that happened, but maybe he just wasn't good enough, I guess. So now he's looking to transfer out of USC. He's still going to get his degree, but as of right now, he's off the football team just to focus on academics, so he can get that within his 3 years and then be able to transfer. He'll most likely have 2 more years of eligibility left to play, so we'll see where he goes, and I'll probably give an update whenever that happens in the near or distant future. Then also, the Lakers officially signed Dwight Howard after the Memphis Grizzlies waived him the other day, and they're saying that he made a big impression on both Anthony Davis and LeBron James, the 2 stars of the Lakers. So I guess we got their approval, then that's pretty much why he got the job, and hopefully he can keep up and bring his end of the bargain instead of screwing up like he normally does. But let's get into the rest of the shizzle show. So ESPN is projecting that Zion Williamson will win Rookie of the Year. They're really putting themselves on a ledge with that type of prediction, but it's kind of obvious as long as he stays healthy, averages close to a double-double, it's going to be fine. Then also, both Mason Plumlee and Jason Tatum, ex-Duke players, made the Team USA basketball roster. So I think right now they're done with their little trip to Australia, where they actually end up losing last week, which was like the first time since like 2006 that they've actually lost, which is pretty crazy. But I mean, think about all the players that are actually there that aren't on the main team that will be playing in the Olympics whenever that happens in the next couple of years, and then everybody else's team is always 100%, especially when they play against everybody else who's been together a lot longer than these players have. But I'm not really worried about that. It's just what they can do in this FIBA tournament in China. So we'll get updates on that hopefully within the next coming weeks, see how they do. Then also Antonio Vrankovic, an ex-Duke center who graduated this year. He was playing in the summer league before the Croatian team, which I thought was weird. Surprised that nobody else gave him a shot in the NBA, so he had to play with that team. But he did sign a professional deal with a Spanish team in Spain. So good luck to him. Hopefully he can still get an opportunity to play in the NBA at one point, because I thought he did pretty good playing for that team during the summer league. Then they're saying that, see, I guess I'm somewhat of a new Duke fan, obviously, since I picked my favorite sports teams back in 2005, 2006, once I started following sports a lot. But there's so much hate that goes to Duke players, especially the Duke players, not as much as the fans, but Duke players definitely. You kind of wonder why. It's not like they're the greatest players ever, or they really think they're the greatest, and it's not like they've won so many championships. I mean, obviously, since I've been a fan of them, they've won at least 2, but even then, with the type of so-called talent that they've had, they should have had definitely more than that, but they've always underperformed. So I don't understand why people are always so upset, but I'm pretty sure when they lose early in the March Madness tournament, people love that even more. So I don't know, I don't understand the hate. I could see maybe some individual players why people won't understand, especially if they're not a fan of them, but that's just with every basically NFL team. There's even a position made in hockey where he's the goon, where he goes and gets in fights automatically with people, and that's his job of the whole entire team, not to score goals, not to get assists. His job is to fight and do something, which is insane. But yes, people get over it. It's just a basketball team. They don't win all the time, so let's get used to it, I guess. But another reason why those 2 Duke players made the Team USA roster was because Kyle Kuzma, the Lakers forward, had to sit out that final game and decided to take his name out of the running because he had a sore ankle, and obviously didn't want to push it and injure it worse just for Team USA. He'd rather be healthy for Lakers, which I'm all good with. So sucks he's not on Team USA still, but obviously it's going to be better for him to get healthy before the season starts around October, November. Then they're saying that the 3rd string quarterback spot for the Chargers, it's pretty much a 2-guy race between Easton Stick, the rookie, and the 3rd-year player Cardale Jones. I'm not a fan of Cardale Jones. I know they traded for him and everything, but that's just because it was an ex-team that the recent head coach Anthony Lynn was a part of at the Buffalo Bills, and he liked him a lot. But even though he says he's progressing, I still think this guy Stick, the rookie, has been a lot more consistent and better while he's playing with crappier teams. Not only he's playing against crappier teams, but his team himself that he has is less better than what Cardale Jones is playing with, and he's still scoring touchdowns and stuff towards the end of the game. So that's already why I think you should give up on Cardale Jones, my opinion. But kind of off the topic, Alabama news, but this is a player I've actually watched a lot and look forward to seeing every year, because he was basically the top rated high school player coming out a few years ago when he did from high school, and everyone's saying he's the next best thing at linebacker at that position and going to be a #1 pick, probably a 1st round overall when he goes to the NFL. But he sadly tore an ACL, so he's going to be out the whole rest of the year, which sucks. I don't mind it's for Alabama that they lose one of their best defenders, but it does suck going towards his future once he gets to the NFL, if the Chargers have an opportunity to sign a guy like that. But you never know, he might slip because of those injuries. But yeah, it's tough to see whenever one of the better, bigger name players in college football goes down, because then it's less likely you're going to watch that team. But Alabama already has players that they're going to dominate with anyway, so it's an embarrassment of riches there. But yes, the season should be starting soon. So now to finish off with some pretty important USC football news. So Drake Jackson, the freshman defensive end from Centennial, which actually is a school that's pretty close to where I live out here. It's pretty cool that he's already been named onto a freshman watch list, which is obviously the top incoming freshman throughout all of college football, which is pretty cool that he's getting some recognition already, which I like that. Then also an not only USC linebacker, but an ex-Chargers linebacker as well. A few times, Hayes Pullard has signed with the Philadelphia Eagles. A couple of USC Trojans out there with Philadelphia, so congrats to my brother-in-law, and congrats to the Eagles for getting one hell of a player that hopefully can stay on that team. Then a couple bits of news that I didn't know about was, well, I did know about Solomon Tuliaupupu. He's one of my favorite linebackers who's been in there. It's going to go on to his second season, but he did have surgery, which I think I mentioned that, and I don't know why he was taking a picture of why he had the surgery, because there was no official news, but it did come out where I guess there's something like his bones in his feet are like separating, which freaking sucks. So they have to put in like a screw, kind of like how Derwin James, the safety for the Chargers, why he had to have the surgery, I guess, to have some screws in his feet. But I guess it helps put your bones together, and they had him get it because he probably could have played, but it would have worsened by the end of the season, and especially for his career. So they said, go ahead, take another season off. You'll still have 4 years of eligibility left after this season, and he'll be older as a freshman, but he'll still be 100% healthy, not only for college, but then also for the pros when he gets over there as well, if that's his desire. So it's definitely an investment that USC's putting in, not only for themselves, but himself in the future, which I think is pretty cool. So good luck to Solomon. Then Jaden Williams, the cornerback for USC, freshman, also coming in. I did not know about this really, but apparently he was close to not playing this year for some eligibility reason, but I guess he is eligible now and he will be playing, which is good because they are kind of thin up there. But two guys that I'm really looking forward to and are probably ahead of him at Jaden's position are Chris Steele and Isaac Taylor Stewart. Obviously, Steele is a talented freshman. I wanted to come for so long, and he is going to play. But Taylor Stewart, he had his first season cut short because of injuries, which sucked. He was looking promising, but he looks like he's a way different player than he was last year, which I'm really excited about. I can't wait to see what he can do, because he was one of the best players to come out of high school a year ago when he did. And yeah, I'm just very excited to see what he can do. It's going to be awesome. And yeah, sadly, I feel like I have to always talk about Clay Helton being on the hot seat and everything like that, but according to numerous reports that his season, or his position, is definitely on the line for this football season, which sucks because they get no help when it comes to scheduling this year. I mean, I think 4 out of the first 6 teams that they're playing are all ranked teams. They still have a chance to come out with only 2 losses, in my opinion. They're in there, but it is a tough schedule. You have to get these guys mentally and physically prepared for this type of schedule. But that's the thing, that they also did a report saying that USC has some of the top players in all of the country, like their top 5 or whatever of all the teams, but yet somehow they're not even ranked, which I don't understand that. But they still think they have a bunch of talent, which is why it's making it worse that he needs to perform a lot better as a coach. Because if they have a 500, which means like 3-3, and those first 6 games are like 2-4, like under 500, then he's probably going to be fired within the regular season, which is going to make USC look even worse. And who knows if any of those freshmen are going to still come to and sign with USC this year or not, unless you get guys like I've been saying, Matt Campbell, Jeremy Pruitt, Dino Babers, guys like that. That's all I'm saying. Thanks for watching, people. Like and subscribe. Comment down below. Let me know what y'all think. Have a great rest of your day.